Another concept which is required when you're dealing with a robot that scales to multiple countries is serialization and deserialization. Now this one seems ugly, but in reality it's something very simple. And serialization is the simplest process when you have something in the computer memory and in the robot memory, like a person, like an integer, like a string. And here I have two boxes. The person, which has an integer and a string, I decided to make a compound object, and the car, maybe I want to put the model, the number of the horsepower, and things like that. So these are two different objects. If I want to send it to another computer, so to another robot, I need to serialize, okay? And every time when you serialize, you choose a format. And you're gonna find very often that JSON is used. However, as you know from the previous lesson, this is not the only format that can be used. XML is also valid. JSON and XML, they are just for transport. Really doesn't matter. Basically, you can create from a person, which in this case, you can create a JSON and a XML in the same time. Really doesn't matter. What's important here to the serialization, it's a concept. Okay, it's a concept that you take something from the computer memory and you want to send it over the network. And when you want to send over the network, because you want to send it to another computer, okay? And in this case, the network can be orchestrator, can be a message, can be a data table, things like that. And to give some example, let's say I want to send the car object in the memory. For instance, I can have it as an object, compound object, or as a dictionary. It's the same thing. And if I have this car object, if I want to send it to JSON, for instance, let's say I have only these two properties, the model and the power. These, it will be result just like that. But if you want to be an XML, these will be different. However, the information is the same and it's still a serialization. Now, the other way around, deserialization, it happens the other way around. When you take the JSON, the resulting from the previous operation, and you create another object in the computer memory or in the robot memory. And for instance, you have the person and the car. Let's take as JSON. Basically, you receive this one from the network and you want to create the person in the computer memory. You can create as an object, you can create as a dictionary. Really doesn't matter as long as you have a JSON and you create something and you read it from, then you're creating a deserialization. Now, please keep in mind that serialization and deserialization are some concepts that you're going to find when you're dealing with JSON. But again, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to emphasize again, these are not strictly related to JSON operation or to XML. No, these are some abstract notions, and the people who wrote the JSON libraries, they decided to use them, but they are not strictly related to JSON. And it's more related to this flow of taking something which can be readable, you receive it from a network, and then you create an object. Well, I hope it's clear. Let's go to the next part.